Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome to another chat video. So I actually filmed this video a few hours ago, so I'm going to jump into that in just a minute, but it's a few hours later and I just remembered something that I wanted to add to this video, and I don't want to put it at the end because in case I lose some of you dropping off along the way, I wanted to make sure to put this out there because I want to say a very happy Mother's Day to those of you who are mothers. Doesn't matter what type of mother you are, whether it is to humans, whether it's to fur babies, whether it's a foster mother, stepmother, godmother, it doesn't matter. If you are a mother in any way, shape, or form, I wanted to say happy Mother's Day this Sunday. This Sunday is going to be probably very busy for me. It's Mother's Day for me. I also will be celebrating with my mother, who is going to be 75 this year. It's also my wedding anniversary. So my husband and I are celebrating 29 years of marriage this Sunday. So we kind of celebrate two anniversaries, I guess you could say, because of the fact that when we got together, we were only 15 back in 1986. So we have been together, this past December was 37 years. So in December, we celebrate like our going steady anniversary. And then in May, we celebrate our wedding anniversary. So this Sunday is our 29th year wedding anniversary. So we'll be doing something fun together. So I just wanted to put that out there and say happy Mother's Day to all of you. And I hope you have a wonderful, relaxing day. So honestly, this video that I am about to jump into couldn't come at a better time because it's talking about May being Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I'm talking about self-care. So just make sure that Sunday you have self-care. So now let's jump into what I had filmed earlier. In today's video, I'm not really going to be talking about weight loss or Weight Watchers, but I do want to talk a little bit about just some healthy habits, self-care. It is May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. So let me start with my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, nurse, dietitian, therapist, mental health counselor, anything like that. The things that I share in my videos are just completely my own opinions, my own experiences. But as always, if you're struggling with anything to do with health, mental, physical, anything like that, please seek the advice of your own doctor. So like I said, May is Mental Health Awareness, and it's really just a time to kind of break down the stigma. I was very fortunate and never experienced any type of anxiety or panic attacks or anything as I was growing up. However, after menopause, that was no longer. Since menopause, or actually I should say when menopause started, actually started with perimenopause. Prior to me going through menopause, I started really experiencing awful anxiety. And I always I shouldn't say I never had anxiety. I always had not necessarily social anxiety, because I could get up and talk in front of people once I got up there. It was like the leading up to getting up and speaking in front of a lot of people. I don't know what you even call it. The leading up to it is the part that, the anticipation, that's what I can call it. Anticipation anxiety. I would say I would self-diagnose myself with anticipation anxiety, meaning that I could get up and I could do a speech, I could do a seminar through work. Occasionally I have to do public speaking, and I can get up there, and once I get talking, I can go. But it's the anticipation prior to that I get the lump in my throat. I get really nervous. I get extreme anxiety, not to the point of a panic attack, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I would just get real anxious. So I would say that I probably did have that a lot growing up. I just at the time didn't associate it with mental health, I guess. It was just something that I dealt with growing up. But with menopause, I experienced anxiety quite often, and to the point where sometimes it completely wiped me out. Unfortunately, I also have ulcerative colitis, so that kind of contributes to it as well. So the combination of the two are just horrible, to the point where I've had, actual panic attacks where I just kind of almost, I just feel like the end is near. Like I feel like my body is just draining right before my eyes. It's just very strange, and it's just something that didn't used to happen prior to menopause and prior to my ulcerative colitis. Even with my ulcerative colitis, even though anxiety can sometimes be an issue, it was never to the extreme that it is after I went through menopause. So it's just something that I have to be aware of and be mindful of, and just try to do my deep breathing exercises when it happens. So as my channel is called Planning Us Healthy, that does not just mean I am sharing weight loss and that's it. I've mentioned several times that sometimes I'm not even on weight loss. I'm in a maintenance phase. I go through phases. It's just what's personal for me, what works for me at the time. And my biggest thing is, for me, health is more than just your weight. It is all about the foods that you're feeding yourself, the activity that you're getting, your mental health, your physical health, your environmental health, your spiritual health, your everything. It's all in one package. And so I just try to make sure that I'm focusing on all of those and not just one thing. Because that's what I found years ago, is that I was only focusing on, I was thinking of health as my weight. I was relating the word health to my weight and not everything else. And so I was not getting enough sleep. You know, I didn't focus on those things. So now I am working on my sleep. My goal is to have an average of 7 hours of sleep every single night, which I have been maintaining for the last 2 weeks. I'm so happy to say, because it was nothing for me before to only get, 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. So I've really been focusing on that. My sleep is important. It definitely makes me feel better. It makes my head more clear throughout the day. So that is one thing I'm focusing on. The other thing I'm trying to do is have some me time. I love books. So I am the old school. I like the physical book. I have tried to do the Kindle and, read books on my phone, but it is just not the same as the feel of sitting in a nice comfy chair or outside in a hammock with a nice book. Just listening to all the sounds around you, kind of just melting away in that book, in that story that you're reading. And so it's been a long time. I used to read books all the time. And then as I started my channel, I kind of got away from it. And I ended up probably reading more cookbooks than anything. And I really need to get back to my other books. I have a huge book collection in my living room near my TV. And then I also have tons of books all around the house. So I've really been trying to focus on that. Reese Witherspoon actually has a book club on Instagram. It's called Reese's, I think it's just Reese's Book Club. I'll link it down below, but I've joined that, and so she recommends a lot of good books. My favorite books to read, honestly, are Amish books. I love Beverly Lewis. I don't know what it is. There's something I'm drawn to the Amish life. I grew up in upstate New York, way up. And we had neighbors who were Amish. We had Amish who would come to the stores we were in. We had Amish who worked on the houses we were in. And I had such a great respect for them, for the hard work that they always did. And so I've just always been really drawn to the Amish lifestyle. And I just really like to read Amish books. So I'm kind of painting a picture of kind of who I am. I am the type that I am yearning for the simple life. That is what I'm after. I am not one who is saying, oh, I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to live in a mansion in the city. That's not what I yearn for. I want simplicity. Give me a cabin in the woods anytime and I will be completely happy. I want more of a simple life. I want a slowed down life. Sometimes things change as you get older and you really think, I was always very rambunctious about everything and just really wanted to go. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that I just really want peace. I really want to slow down. So one thing I'm getting back to is reading books, obviously eating a healthy and balanced diet, everything in moderation, but I'm really trying to focus more on fruits and vegetables. I'm trying to do a few meatless meals. I'm trying to do more of that. The other thing that I've been really working on and that I have been improving in is my movement. I think I mentioned in my last video that I was having a lot of joint pain. I wasn't really able to get a lot of movement in, and that has been slowly increasing. I'm finding that I'm able to walk a little bit farther now. I'm not getting so much pain. So really trying to kind of work on some things with my doctors and get me where I need to be. with that. Something else, connect with loved ones. Make sure you're really spending quality time with your loved ones. My husband and I are the best of friends. Like we love doing things together. We always have. Nothing will ever change with that. You know, we're not just a married couple who he does his thing and I do mine. We do so much. Like our marriage is a true friendship. It's a partnership, and we just really, we enjoy the time we have together. And so camping was always something we loved doing when our kids were little. We had a fifth wheel camper, had the little bunkhouse thing in the back. And we just loved camping. We loved getting away. We loved taking walks in nature and just sitting around the campfire, telling stories. So we really want to get back to that. I think it would be great, especially, you know, with the grandchildren getting older. I think we could take them. I really would love to get a tent and take our grandson, now that he's 4, and kind of really teach him like true camping. But I don't know, times have changed, and I just don't know that I would feel safe in a tent anymore, even in a campground. So I don't know, we may look into getting another camper. I know you can rent them now too, so we may look into that. Okay, I have no idea where I left off. My phone rang, and then I ended up going to get my Walmart grocery pickup. So I think I was talking about connecting with loved ones and supportive relationships. Practicing mindfulness and meditation. So I have not really done the meditation part yet. My daughter swears by meditation. She does that. But the mindfulness is definitely something that I've been working on. I have really been kind of listening to myself. So in other words, if I am on my computer or on my laptop and it's late, I can hear myself telling myself, you know, you really need to shut it down. You really need to, you know, shut it down, read a book, something. So I've really been trying to be mindful of those little cues that I'm giving my body when my body is telling myself. Especially a lot of times I take my laptop in the bedroom at night and I edit videos in there while we have the TV on. And my husband will shut the TV down, and then he goes to sleep, and I usually stay up and, you know, finish editing a certain part, and I will sit there yawning. My eyes are tearing and I'm telling myself I'm so tired, but the other side of me is like, okay, just get through this one little part. So I've really been working on that. You've probably noticed over the last year or so, I don't really have a specific day that my videos come out. And I used to do 3, sometimes 4 videos a week when I first started, and I'm not doing that anymore. I really am just doing 1 to 2, sometimes 3, just depending what it is, but usually it's 2 videos and sometimes just 1 a week. It just depends on what I can accomplish, what I can get done without getting to the point of burnout and feeling overwhelmed. Again, if this was my job, then it would be totally different. I could spend every day filming and, you know, really have like a strict schedule that I follow, but it's not my main job. So I just do it when I can. So I'm just really trying to avoid that feeling of burnout. It can definitely happen. I have felt it happening where you just get completely overwhelmed with everything. But you have to recognize those signs and really listen to your body. And sometimes it's not just about getting enough sleep. Sometimes you just need to rest. So something I've been doing, I notice when I leave work, I have probably about a 30 to 40 minute drive. And a lot of times by the time, even though I sit during the day at work, my brain is so overstimulated all day long that when I actually sit in my car and I'm no longer really focused on my work, it makes me realize how tired I am. And so sometimes I'll be yawning in the car on the way home. And so when that happens, I'll sometimes come home, sit on the couch and just lean back and just kind of take like a 15-minute power rest. And a lot of times that really makes me feel a lot better. But just sometimes getting just a little bit of a rest and not necessarily sleeping, just kind of resting, rest your brain, rest your mind. But probably the biggest thing with mental health is seek professional help when you need it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. When you start getting very overwhelmed with everything, you start getting stressed with everything, don't be afraid to ask for that help, because sometimes we all just need a little bit of help. Sometimes it's just a matter of talking through what you need to talk through, but just don't be afraid to get that help. Don't try to handle everything on your own. Sometimes we go through just these little feelings of overwhelmed, and after a couple of days it subsides. But if you have prolonged feelings of stress, prolonged feelings of having, just this overwhelming feeling, that is not good on your body. So our bodies are meant to take stress, whether it's good stress, bad stress. That stress is not necessarily a bad thing, but prolonged nonstop stress on your body, that's what's really harmful. You are going to have some stress. We're all going to have some stress. We're built that way, and our bodies are built to recognize that stress and to adjust our levels. Sometimes though, when we're over 50, our hormone levels are not able to adjust on their own. And so sometimes it can kind of get prolonged. So try to recognize the signs when you really just need to talk to your doctor and need to get seek some professional advice. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. That's the biggest thing. So many people, I think, just are so afraid to ask for help. It does not mean that you're weak. If you need to get professional help, that is a sign of strength by going and asking for that help, to seek that help out. And there are a lot of resources out there depending on what you're looking for. There are some support groups that you can find online. You could seek actual therapy, one-on-one. And also there's hotlines out there if you're in immediate need of help. So for the month of May, I really just challenge you to be part of creating a culture of acceptance and understanding, and just try to get rid of the stigma that mental health is something bad and mental health shouldn't be talked about, because it's very important. Mental health, physical health, like I said, it's all embodied. Our mental health is part of our body, and it's very important for us to make sure we are as healthy as we can be mentally as well as physically. So if you follow me on social media, you may have seen my congratulations to Nikki at Nikki Gets Fit. She has a cookbook out. It's on Amazon, and it is a #1 bestseller already, like in the first, I think, 2 days that she had it out. As soon as I saw she had it out, of course, I wanted to show my support. And I love her recipes. I'm pretty sure she's probably young enough to be my daughter, but she reminds me of when I lost weight in my 30s, but she's just much more wiser than I was at the time. And she's just inspiring. She's very inspiring. So I know a lot of you follow her, and I know a lot of you were really excited about her cookbook coming out. You all know, back in 2019, I started working on a cookbook, and it's still sitting there. I have not, so I don't know, maybe Nikki has kind of inspired me to get back to working on it. But super, super excited for her. Watching her stories on Instagram and just hearing the happiness in her voice and how truly, genuinely appreciative she is of everybody, I'm drawn to that. And I don't know Nikki on a personal level. I do want to say that. I'm not putting this out there because we're friends or anything like that. She's just somebody I've just kind of been drawn to watching her evolve, and just really, really super proud of when people work really hard and they're so deserving of things. It just really makes me happy to see people who are so passionate about what they do achieve great things. So really happy for her. So show your support. I'll link her Instagram and her YouTube channel down below, and you can go there and she'll have, I know she's got links on her Instagram. So let me know something in the comments that you're gonna work on for self-care, or something maybe you've already been working on for self-care, just for your whole overall health. So with that, I wanna say thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one.